It's a new season with new starts and with new goals. The soccer teams have started the year off, and the football team is just about to get going. All that and a whole lot more. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. Our 29th year, Joe, we are starting now in this fall season. It's crazy. We've got a really good fall preview for everybody.
Well, everything has gotten underway pretty much, and we're going to preview everybody on tonight's show. We are going to start, as you had mentioned, the girls' soccer team. A lot of new things going on, and we got to kind of fly tonight, but maybe not giving everything new its due. But the girls' soccer team, under new coach Maggie Spellman, opened their season on the road against Chisago Lakes, and they opened with a 1-0 shutout. Errolyn Yang Wynn had the goal. Steedman and Erickson had the assists, and Williams made about 15 saves in the shutout. Well, the girls had their home opener on Monday, and it was also the debut of fall sports here on CTN. Viewers were treated to quite a show as the Cardinals came from behind, dominated the second half, and improved their record to 2-0 to start the season. Blue Jackets had also won their opener, and they start the scoring off a free kick late in the first. Beautiful feed to Finley Nelson in space. She turns and scores, keeping Drysani in the driver's seat. But that lead would not last into the break. Cardinals on the run in the final seconds of the first. Callie Alphin with a great move back to the middle. She buries her shot. The game is tied at 1 going to the break. It was just the spark they needed because they completely controlled the second half. Solid steal by Maya Thomas in the midfield. She finds Alphin. Alphin finds the back of the net again. Her second of the game put the Cardinals up 2-1. Just a couple of minutes later, more pressure in transition. Kaylee Steegman going to run right past all of the defenders and put the shot across to the far side. Home team has a little breathing room with 8 minutes to play, and they were not done. Less than 90 seconds later, Errolyn Yang Wynn steals the clear attempt. She goes straight back to the net, puts a left footer to the far side to complete the scoring. Cardinals, solid 4-1 win, and they've already equaled last year's win total.
It was a really fun game, obviously, and while you were eating food at the fair, Jerry and I were calling the game, and I was very impressed with them. They had opportunities in the first half to put some additional goals on, a lot of offsides, and I think that'll come in time as they develop and they learn each other a little bit more as the season progresses.
Yeah, a lot of great energy. I'm sorry that I missed it.
Yeah, you would have had fun. You would have definitely had fun. Were there a lot of changes for the Cardinals this season, and hopefully they're about to add up to a reboot for the program. New coach Maggie Spellman brings in a lot of positive energy. And with a very different look to their schedule, they should have a great opportunity to build a foundation for the program moving forward.
We have a lot of young girls that came out, so it's really exciting that our program will only continue to grow. We'll only end up graduating 4 seniors. So our potential is endless this season.
The Cardinals saw a surge in numbers of tryouts this season. Add that to the excitement emanating from their new coach and the intrigue of a very different schedule, and you have a group that is bursting with optimism.
I feel like we've had more girls than we've had in the past 3 years come out, and they're all pretty good. And I think playing some new teams will help take some of the stress away.
The Cardinals are still in the Northwest Suburban, but they'll play just one conference match all season. Instead, more than half their schedule is against 2A teams. But the most important factor early on is the new perspective and renewed energy, coming from all their new pieces, from their new coach to the youngest player eager to crack a varsity roster.
I feel like this year, since there's a lot of new people, there's going to be different energy, of course, so I feel like that will change the way we play the game.
A lot of the girls are very open-minded, and that's what's going to bring us together as a team, being willing to be everywhere or whatever you need. Being willing to step up. A lot of girls have stepped up, I think, than last year.
Coach Spellman was excited by the numbers of tryouts, and she's been really impressed by the skills she's seen. And she's confident the girls' commitment to improving will make it easier to bring everything together.
I think just meshing as a unit. I think we have a lot of individual talents, so being able to put those talents together into one cohesive team will be our biggest challenge.
The Cardinals lost some key pieces to graduation, but they returned some talent in the upper classes as well. It will be important for them to rely on their experience up front to allow their back end time to get up to speed.
Our strengths will definitely be like midfield and offensive. We don't have a lot of defense, but we're still trying to like work our younger girls into it. And I think if we all just come together, we can really just make a good team.
With all the changes this year, the deck is certainly stacked in the Cards' favor. Their new coach is hyper-focused on the details early in the season, and she didn't want to look too far into the future. But she's pretty confident that her team is capable of great things.
I think watching these girls fully reach their potential. I think the ability is there, and they're excited about where this year can go. So ask me again in October, and I'll have a really good answer, I have a feeling.
That is one of the greatest answers. I always ask that question,
Yep.
and that is one of the greatest answers. A lot of question marks out there, but ask me again in a couple of months. So I love how they've started. Like the energy she brings. The girls seem to be feeding off it.
Definitely.
Can they continue? That is the big
Let's
question.
hope so.
They are at St. Louis Park on Thursday. They are at Forest Lake on Tuesday. The boys soccer team also started its season with a win, and they had they only scored 4 or more one time last year. They scored 7 in a contest. Other than that, never scored more than 3 goals. So to start with 4 in the opener, blow past Irondale is fantastic. You see, Howard didn't have to do a lot to earn the shutout, just 3 saves. But thank you to Coach Matt Backberg for getting back to my emails and keeping me posted on what's happening with them. Cardinals couldn't have asked really for a better start, and they hope they're able to keep the momentum moving forward. This team took huge strides in year 1 under Coach Matt Backberg. Now they're hoping to take it to the next level. They've got a solid core returning, and as they've already shown, they know how to score.
It's exciting to just build on all the good things we did last year.
The Cardinals' 3-9-4 record last year may not seem that impressive, but when you dig deeper into the numbers, you can see they set a solid foundation, and it all starts with a completely different game plan.
We try to maintain 60% possession at least. So if they don't have the ball, they can't score. If we have the ball, we can score. That's the main mindset that we have.
The on-field play looks a bit different, but it produces great results. The Cardinals' ball control strategy last year led to 3 times as many goals as either of their previous 2 seasons. And Backberg is confident this year's group can take it a step further.
But now it's taking advantage of the possession and possessing to score rather than to just keep the ball. Right? We kept the ball a little too much last year and turned down some chances to get forward and be dangerous.
Most of the Cardinals played club soccer in the offseason, and they returned to the field with improved skills, added experience, and a shared desire to accomplish something special.
You can really see that these guys, they love the game. They're not just here because they like soccer. No, they love it. The hunger to win, the hunger to not lose, that's what I like to see. That's the impression that they get.
The Cardinals return a solid group of veterans, including most of their top scorers. And while they lost some very solid players as well, they're confident in the guys they have coming up to fill the holes.
Obviously, we lost a lot of our defense last year with them being seniors, but this year I think we've brought up some great defenders, and I think we can be very strong in our defensive shape.
Blowing past Irondale in the opener was great, but the road will get far more difficult as the Cardinals move through their schedule. And they'll need to stay the course if they hope to reach their ultimate goal.
Staying calm and composed in moments where we might be down 2 goals or something, and just not getting down on ourselves. I think that'll be our best challenge.
The Cardinals seem to have everything they need to make a statement this season. They've got the skill, they've got the experience, and most importantly, they've got the attitude.
Really excited for the season. I feel like we have some great players coming in this year, and I feel like we got a really positive season ahead of us.
Should be interesting to see. The girls actually are playing very little. We didn't talk too much about it, but playing very little in the conference. They've got a schedule that will allow them to have a little more success this season. Boys are still playing a full conference schedule, so they are going to have some monsters to compete with, and they seem ready for the challenge. They're at Totino on Wednesday. Next Tuesday, they will host Elk River, and Howie
We'll be there.
Volleyball team opened its season with a tournament last Friday. Unfortunately, they ended up on the wrong side of the broom in all 4 contests. They lost to Chisago Lakes 15-15, to Proctor 8-20, to Litchfield 18-27, and then to Cambridge Isani 7-15, the last being a team that is in their section. However, they did open this week with their first dual meet victory. It comes by a 3-1 score over Bloomington Kennedy. You can see how close it was in each and every one of the sets, all going to extras 1 through 3, and then the Cardinals put the hammer down and got the win 25-12 in the 4th.
Nice to see him get that first win. Well, if excitement leads to success, the volleyball team's potential is off the charts. The Cardinals were in a rebuild last season and managed just 1 win. Still, their effort level and positive energy was undeniable, and that's what they believe has led to a huge surge in numbers.
We had the largest tryout program, more than football, this season. And so that was another really cool thing to see that.
The Cardinals had almost 100 girls show up for tryouts this year. The program struggled to field 4 teams just 2 years ago. Now they have 5 full rosters and had to turn some kids away.
People are like seeing us play, seeing like the connection that we have, and they're like, oh, I want to go do that. I want this coach to call me. I want to go do this with my friends. And so it's really cool to see that like our bond like makes other people want to join that bond and join in too.
The Cardinals returned a solid core from last year, and almost all of them played for high-level club teams throughout the offseason. It has allowed them to hone their skills and at the same time learn more about the game from different perspectives.
So being able to work together and learn new ways how to do stuff, like that's really great. And so being able to have that different experience from club and then moving back on to high school season.
Usually, it takes a while to get everybody on the same page after playing so many different styles in the summer. But for this group, with so many veterans, it's been easy, like getting the band back together.
Honestly, I thought we would not be like that, like we won't like lock in or like we wouldn't be close at all. But like looking at now, like we are pretty close with each other, and honestly, I feel like our team will be great.
The Cardinals know success will be a process, but they also believe it's attainable. They're ready to do the work, and they're committed to proving themselves to all their opponents.
But overall, I think our biggest goal is just to continue to make our presence known in the conference. We obviously want the wins, but we also just want to start being recognized for being a team that isn't going to be walked all over.
The veterans know the season will have its ups and downs. They also know they have to stay out of their own way and make sure it's only positive energy flowing through the team.
Never let them like look down at themselves. I think one like weakest thing our team has like in general is like looking down at ourselves and like thinking we're doing terrible when we're doing great.
Coach Rositas is committed to keeping the team focused on what's most important. And she's sure if they do that, the wins will come.
My heart has always been first good people, good kids, respectful of themselves and of others, and then second is volleyball skill, and they really, really have that first thing down, and that second one is just continuing to build every day.
The girls also will have a schedule that is conducive to finding a little more confidence. They have Cristo Ray Jesuit coming to the Fieldhouse on Wednesday this week, and then they are at Blaine next Thursday. And I love the energy there. Coach Solana has done a great job with the program over the last couple of years, but all of the kids are super positive, and it's great to see that the numbers for someone exceeding what they can handle. And they said those that they did cut, they encouraged to go join cross country or tennis or soccer. Continue to stay involved.
Love to see the numbers like that. That was fantastic.
Well, the cross-country teams open their competition season on Thursday this week, and their roles are a bit reversed. The boys are rebuilding after being hit hard by graduation. The girls, meanwhile, return a state entrant, and they're seeing the evolution of their young talent becoming veteran leadership.
It's a new experience. It's a different group. Even though, like on the girls, most of the girls are returning, they were still pretty young, still learning a lot about themselves as runners and what they could do.
The Cardinals girls gained some great experience last season, and they return to the trails this fall, eager to take the next step. Overall, the team's numbers are down, but everybody who is there is showing up ready to work and to help push the team forward.
I feel like a lot of the people are really uplifting this year. There's a lot of like people like during like our workout yesterday, like everyone's like saying like good job, they were cheering us on. So I feel like that's definitely like a lot more this year than I feel like past years. So it's definitely like a more positive environment.
The Cardinals had 16 total seniors last season. That includes 6 of the 7 boys on the section roster, but only 1 of the 6 girls who ran at section. Fortunately, the group they have this fall is committed to getting better, and they're committed to doing it together.
You know, this is basically, especially on the boys, a complete rebuild. I think that's going to be a key aspect of it, is just how much they like each other, how much they get along, and how much they enjoy being here.
The captains said they had really good attendance for their summer practices, and what they saw from everybody is a buy-in to the process of improvement.
It's been really nice to see all of these new kids really putting in the work, doing the workouts how they're intended to be, and trying to get better.
Coach Green is confident in the leaders he has on both teams, and not surprisingly, it's their inner drive to better themselves that makes them great people for their teammates to look up to.
I feel like I really have to prove myself and see who I am and how far I can go, because it's the last chance and there's no more after this.
When we met with the teams, they had not yet had any real-time trials. They felt pretty good about the paces they were running, and they loved the effort they were seeing across the entire team. But soon they'll find out exactly what they have when they go up against other teams.
It gets to the racing and stuff like that. What's their team identity going to be? And I think that's going to be something that's going to take a little bit of time for them to understand, because they have to, see the competition, see where they land within it, but then what are their strengths going to be? What are their weaknesses going to be?
The Cardinals will always keep the focus on the conference and section meets, continuing to get stronger and faster and hoping to peak at the biggest meet of the year. At the same time, especially on the boys' side, these Cardinals are laying the groundwork for further into the future.
I think there is potential for our future. Like, we're already building a new generation, and we get to kind of rewrite what it means to be on this team, and we kind of get to decide our destiny now. So I really like that aspect of it.
And we'll be along for the ride as these Cardinals find out who they are and what they're capable of.
Just the development. I think the biggest thing is seeing where they are from the beginning to the end.
Well, the beginning is the District 11 meet. That is coming up on Thursday. They'll be at the Bauman-Rovin Invite next Thursday. So, again, another program, great energy. Denny Green has been a great leader for that program for the last couple of decades.
Yeah, I think the key word there is identity. Once they find their identity, they'll know just about what they need to do. Well, the swimming and diving team opens its season on Thursday, and they do it with a new head coach for the second time in 3 years. Ashley Radis was forced to step down to her change in full-time job, but she hands the program off to another young coach with a similar vision to carry the Cardinals forward.
It's going great. We have a lot of great people on the team.
The Cardinals may not have a lot of bodies in the pool, but the girls they do have come in stronger and faster than they were at the end of last season. And their ability to push each other has impressed new coach Rachel Schlueter.
So we do have a lot of fast girls, and that is one way that the girls can look at and figure out and race each other. I think racing each other is a huge thing to be able to do in practice. So just having themselves to push each other will allow them to get really far.
The Cardinals hope a few more athletes will join their ranks as they get into the school season, but they also know what they have is all they really need.
We all go in with a positive attitude. Even though we're a small number, we all just try to do our best, try to beat our times.
Swimming and diving is at its core an individual sport, and these Cardinals will be buoyed by seeing their own progress and pushing their own limits all season long.
So keeping them focused on their own personal goals, their own personal bests and whatnot, making sure that they have goals and they really do want to achieve them.
Getting the best out of each athlete will be essential for a team this small. It will also be important that they're all flexible and willing to go outside their comfort zone to help their team.
I just push them as hard as I know they can go. I encourage them as much as I can. I know it's hard. My first year is hard for me to get into it too, but I just tell them, once you figure it out, it's going to be easy and you're going to fall in love with it just like I did for breaststroke.
The Cardinals will be smaller squad on the pool deck for almost every meet this season. Some teams will have 3 times as many girls. Still, the Cardinals are confident they can compete with anyone they face.
Just keeping positivity all around. We go to meets where there's 60 girls on their team like Blaine, and we look at them, we know we're small, but I was like, we can be just as good as them. We just have to have our energy and believe in ourselves that we can be good competition against them.
The Cardinals hope they can score a win or two this season. But at the end of the day, if they've pushed their own limits, improved their own times, competed in the sport they love and had fun while doing it, the rest is just icing on the cake.
So it's fun just to see everyone be happy to be back. And we have good energy so far, so I'm excited to see how far that goes.
Coach Schlueter gets her first opportunity as the head coach against Spring Lake Park at home on Thursday, and then the Bengal Invitational a little more than a week away. Excited to see what she does with the program. Really sorry to see Coach Radis go.
Right.
But I love the way that Ashley reached out and connected Rachel and I, and Rachel has been great to work with so far.
Yeah, and having Coach Schlueter on our show during the summer was great because it got to kind of give her vision for the program.
Well, the football team opens its season also on Thursday. They're on the road at Osseo, and they're fired up to start a new era. The Cardinals also have a whole new coaching staff. They're playing in a new conference, and they have a renewed confidence that all these changes will lead to something very positive.
Ooh, that's gonna be the start. That's the start of something new. I just want everybody to know and be tuned in. Just wait. That's all I can say.
The excitement on the football field is palpable as things are coming together quickly for new coach Chase Vasquez and his squad.
The most exciting part is just continuing to see that they're believing in what the message is and then buying it.
Vasquez comes to the Cardinals after being an assistant at Andover. He knows what his team is up against, and he's challenging all of his players to outwork everyone they face.
Because we're not going to have the numbers of the other 6A teams, and that's a reality. We have to be the most conditioned team in the fourth quarter.
It didn't take long for Vasquez to gain the respect of his players. One look told them all they needed to know about their new coach.
You know when your mom stares at you after you do something bad? That's the look. He's terrifying. And yeah, he's really strict. He gets on us, and I love that because that's made us 10 times better than we already were last year, you know.
Coach Vasquez believes they have the guys they need. They just need to ensure they're getting the best from everybody they have.
Coach wants us to have a very high intensity because, we're going to be in very tough games, 6A. So, you got to have high intensity in the weight room and you bring it to the field and you'll bring it to the game.
The extra push from the coaching staff doesn't hurt, but the Cardinals veterans already had the ghosts of last season as a pretty serious motivator.
Well, we look back at that and, we can't rest as much as other teams. We can't walk as much as other teams. We can't do low effort as much as other teams would because we went 0-9, obviously, and I never want that to happen again.
There were a couple of themes that dominated our conversations with the Cardinals. Number one, they plan to be the hardest working team in the state. Number two, they need to execute and they need to be consistent. And finally, quality is more important than quantity, especially when it comes to the guys in the huddle.
See, we got a lot of fast wide receivers. We got a beautiful quarterback. We got 2 great running backs. I'm so ready to see them work like a well-oiled machine. I'm just ready.
The Cardinals moved to the Metro Maroon Conference this season. It gives them some new opponents and some new opportunities for success. The hope is they take full advantage, gain some confidence, and that will set the foundation for this program's future.
That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, changing the culture here, right? There are great athletes here. They just need to believe that they are, and it'll start paying off. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family! Get a quick rinse and get to your Indy.
Again, another new coach that I really like what he's saying. I like that the kids are saying, he's strict basically, but he believes in the kids clearly, and there's so much great energy. We hope that it carries through and gets him some wins.
There's so much energy in this program, and I'm really excited for it. And I love the fact that he uses a drone at practice. And everybody, we were there yesterday before the soccer match and had a chance to chat with him a little bit. We're pretty excited for the season opener.
They will be at Osseo on Thursday. They will host White Bear Lake on Friday. Their conference schedule is the end of the schedule, includes Hopkins, Irondale, and Forest Lake? We'll figure it out as we get there. A lot more to talk about. The tennis team, as always, the first into action and very busy before things really get going for anybody else. It's been a rough start so far. They started with a couple of teams coming to visit them on the 16th. They lost 4-3 to Hibbing, lost 6-1 to Delano. A lot of tri-meets, but their one dual meet against a conference opponent, opening the conference schedule against Champlain Park. They lose that one by a 6-1 score. The one win coming from Caitlin Easton at first singles. Moving along, some more tri-meets. They lost 4-3 matches to both Apple Valley and Irondale on the 20th. On the 21st, they lost 7-rip to Cambridge Isani. Another 4-3 loss, this time to Princeton. There you see the wins were all in singles. Then a 5-2 loss on the 22nd to Forest Lake. And then they finally break into the win column with a 6-1 victory over Anoka, also on the 22nd.
Nice to see him. Nice to see him get that first win against Anoka. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, the fast start is not new for this program. They'll be halfway through their schedule by the time school starts. Coach Stork does it this way so the girls, when they focus more on their studies once the term begins. And regardless of the Cardinals' finishes, this season will be something special.
It's actually going pretty well. We lost a lot of seniors, so I was a little worried, but I think it might come together better than I was expecting.
Graduation did take a toll on this team, but they also returned some very solid players that come back with added experience. And most of the Cardinals proved their commitment to getting better by working hard all summer long.
A lot of girls did the summer camp, and I think they improved a lot by doing that, just keeping their game in it. I've seen so much improvement since last year from all of the girls. So
A year can do a lot for a high school athlete in terms of both physical and mental maturity. Many of the Cardinals' top players are multi-sport athletes, which means they train a variety of ways, and it all helps their on-court performance.
Higher level and stronger. We have some girls that play hockey, and they've been lifting a lot, and you can just tell, and they're hitting the ball harder, and they've gotten stronger and smarter, understanding the process and how to play out the points. So,
the Cardinals are working extra hard this spring, in part as a tribute to their leader. After 27 years, Coach Scott Stork will be retiring.
I'm sad, I'm gonna miss him, but I think it's really important that we leave off on a good note for him and make everything special.
Coach Stork wants to keep the focus on the players and not his impending retirement. But a major storyline throughout this schedule is that it's the end of an era and a farewell tour for one of the greatest coaches in school history.
it's been an amazing experience. I never thought I'd be coaching this long. It caught me off guard. Haven't thought about it too much.
Coach Stork looks forward to spending more time with his wife Amy and their grandchildren. He also hopes to get in some more hunting and fishing. One thing is for certain, he has left a tremendous mark on this program, this school, and this community.
We saw it coming within the few years, but he kind of announced it like last year, so we kind of knew about it from the start of this year, but yeah, we'll miss him.
It's been a really big impact on the courts, in our school, everything, so it's going to be a big one.
Absolutely a stalwart at Coon Rapids High School over the last 3 decades, and he will be insanely missed here at CTN, in the school, in the community. Just a great advocate for the game of tennis, from youth to senior citizens, always getting everyone involved at the pivot courts.
It's definitely the end of an era, and I'll miss talking to him about tennis. I'll miss talking to him about fantasy football. Hopefully we'll keep in contact, but what a great man and what a great legacy he leaves at this school and in this community.
Yeah, and I think I have a sneaking suspicion we'll still see him every once in a while,
maybe he'll
coming to visit some contests.
Maybe he'll come do a broadcast with us.
That perhaps is a possibility as well. They are at Centennial today on Tuesday. They will host Armstrong on Thursday. I hope that was enough Cardinal action to whet everybody's appetite, because we are just getting started for the fall season. Football on the horizon. Kickoff at 6 o'clock on Thursday against the Osseo Orioles. We'll see the boys soccer team against Elk River on September the 2nd. And then we see the football team on their home turf for the first time against the Bears from White Bear Lake on September the 5th. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Dan Wasserman behind the camera and my partner Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.